Yeah, they have checklists, all of them. But yeah, my dad hijacked my day today. Like he's feeling kind of stressed because like he's realizing shit. I have like payment after payment to do, and he just realized today, fuck, I gotta do the insurance and I gotta like go get my car smogged. He literally had to call out of work to do all this shit.
Damn.
And he's like, and then I got the goddamn cell phone bill, and I'm like, all right, I'll do the cell phone bill for you. Like I'll cover it this time instead of just giving them like 25 like I always. And it's not a lot. Now I'm wondering how much it's gonna be if I paid, my own bill. But yeah, I paid for the bill, and I'm like, all right, I'll just have my dad like give me the information I need. I'll go and like put the money, and then he's like, oh no, I'll take you to the bank, and then we'll do all this other stuff, and we'll do the laundry. And I'm like, I had things I wanted to do today.
Just know that it's a bitch to pay for car insurance.
I know. Well,
car insurance is a bitch. House is okay because that's just like okay. that's like the lion's share of a budget already. So it's like okay, housing and everything. Yeah. Car insurance is just a bitch because that always changes from time to time.
Oh yeah. My dad was telling me how getting the tags was like it was $130, then it went down to $70, and then now it's going up to just get the tags for the car.
Yep.
Yeah, but no, right now, like, I'm still living with the parents, so, paying for my phone and getting medical insurance, that's the one they want me to do. Especially since I could already submit my taxes, but I need to wait for them because I'm still in the medical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing they're claiming me. Once I turn 27, I'm on my own. Yeah, and then I want to look for another job, but at least have this job give me more hours. So I could probably start working on getting out of there because again I'm 25 and I don't want to be there anymore, and I don't want to be a nuisance anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that was real. That was realism with the Animazing Crypt. But anyway, wait. So what? I forgot. Actually, just in case. Yeast? I thought you meant Weast. What was I saying? Yeah, no. I also like that thing in the Giga video where it's just like, yes, this was a brilliant brilliant audible that groups. Oh shit, what was it? I forgot. But remember how he made Banger?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like brilliant audible groups that can rock it to rock out, and it's like, wait, what does that mean? Banger!
Oh man, dude. I think one other show that I've watched that until he explained it in his show, I was like confused as hell. It was like when I was watching Boogie Pop.
Oh, that looked the way he was explaining it, I'm like, okay, I'll probably watch this too.
When he explained it, everything started to fucking make sense. Because when I watched the show, I was like, wait, it's the first episode of the world saved already? What happened? And I was like, just confused as hell. Because, well, again, I was not using that detective part of my brain. Like he says, yeah, I mean, and I was like, okay, so it's like a puzzle then. And I'm like, shit, this show's doing more for me than I thought it was.
Yeah, for a second you were thinking it was like Terraformers, where the first volume was just season 1. It was just OVAs.
Yeah.
And then like volume 2 is where season 1 started.
Yep.
That was still weird. I'm like, I don't either like make that canonical to your season, or they really should have like the manga artist should have just gotten rid of that first volume and then put it as the show went on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really weird. Like, wait, I read the first volume. This is the second volume. Oh wait, the OVAs.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah,
at least season 2 dropped the ball on that.
I know. And then the movie dropped the ball, and I'm starting to think that the show was trying to copy the movie's tone, because the movie had that awkward humor too.
I didn't go anywhere near the movie when it sounds like, man, season 2 fucked it up already. I'll just stick to the source material.
The problem is that it had okay action, but again, it's stupid how it's like, well, all foreigners. Really? Because they're all Asian people, except for that one Asian actor who actually knew how to speak his language. Like, everyone else, this is stupid that you guys don't want to branch out and get, like, American actors. You know, make America feel bad that you are actually caring about, you know, following the source material and giving other ethnicities roles.
Oh, I think that was like one of the criticisms people did about the Attack on Titan movie as well. Because you know how this is like, oh, it's like, so probably it's like somewhere like in the middle of like Europe or some place.
Yeah.
So like everybody was like fucking blonde or had like German ass sounding names.
Yeah. And then they were even saying how they even went as far that some background characters in the background, you'd hear them talk, but it wasn't Japanese. They actually made some actors speak like German or something.
Yeah.
So they're there, the realism's there, but again, the movie, Japan already kind of has a hard time with production as it is, so I understand that hiring outside would be too much.
And too expensive considering the fact you have to pay for their flights and then accommodate their stay there and then work with their schedules.
Yeah, and also I wouldn't really mind that. I really wouldn't mind if in actuality they're pissed off at them, because I mean, how many times has like a white person took an Asian character role? Like that movie Annihilation, Natalie Portman was an Asian woman in the book. Though this really cool thing, even though the movie looks awful, but the new Hellboy movie, there's like a British Asian man in that movie, and originally that was going to be the villain from Deadpool. Have you seen that?
Which Deadpool?
The first one.
Ajax?
Yeah. It was going to be Ajax, but then he's like, you know what? With all this because this happened around Ghost in the Shell, and he's like, you know, with all this controversy around, I think I'm going to back off. So I'm going to leave so they can give this to an Asian actor. And yeah, they gave it to an Asian actor, but I think even he was mixed.
Yeah.
So when you look at him, you're like, okay, I see Asian in there, but you could tell he might be mixed. I could be wrong. He could just be. Fuck, I know there was one Asian person I met who was pure blood, but they looked like super mixed. I forgot. It'll come to me. It'll come to me eventually. But also before we kick it off, I kind of wanted to talk about this little. I think it's a manga, or maybe just like a comic, but you know Webtoon, right?
Yep.
So they released like a video to play as ads, and it was this ad for a little comic book called what was it called? Mage and Demon Queen. Where it's another one of those. It's a fantasy world, but it works exactly like a video game with pop-up screens and all that, like Shield Hero.
Yeah.
And it's about like in this world, the humans are at war with monsters, and the only way to stop it is to go to the demon tower, where you fight your way up all the floors, and then every 15 floors a monster. And when you take out when you take down like the demon general, you fight like the demon queen. So all of them are like, well, if we kill her, we get 50 million gold, and the world will be saved. Except for one girl who goes up there for the specific reason, for the specific motive of wooing her.
Really?
Yeah, like
You know what this sounds like?
Dude,
fuck.
Let me get my phone.
I forgot the name of the show. But like,
But it's a Yuri, and it's a really funny Yuri. Here.
Here, Mao Yusha. That's what it reminds me of. Fuck.
What that sounds familiar. But hold on.
Oh, it even recognizes it. Mao Mayu no Yusha. Where the fuck is it? Here we go. This fucking show where like this guy's still like pretty much tasked to kill this girl, but instead they end up falling in love with each other. So like,
aw, that looks adorable.
It was like, when the fuck was it released?
When was this released? I've never heard of this.
I can look it up. But yeah, that's the show, and I remember this one. I remember. You know what this show? You know what's so interesting about this fucking show?
What?
Oh, not this. This one. Pixelated. Like not
Pixel boobs.
Pixel boobs. But the interesting about this show, because like the main focus of this show is that when he decides to woo her and everything, because he got tasked to kill her, but instead they end up falling in love with each other.
Yeah.
She actually helps him to start developing like economies and everything from different villages.
Oh.
And like, holy shit, man, this is like This show is pretty much economics 101 because it talks about like like rotation cropping or something like that.
Yeah.
Where like you put different crops that are viable during different seasons, so that at least there's like at least some type of food you can grow year round.
So they're actually like they're doing what Slime is doing, where they're going through like the basics of putting a village together. Oh, so when did this come out?
It came out 2013. Winter 2013.
Oh, winter though. Okay, that's not bad. I'm like, 2013, the year of lost anime. yeah, but like, you can count on it. I saw my adventure honor. Ah, fuck. Where is it? Ah, fuck you, asshole. Fucking vapor sweat. Okay, hold on.
Oh man.
Sorry, people. Yeah, here we go. It's acting up again.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's what it went through.
I swear my adventure honor. I will make you mine. And like the Demon Queen is super like, she's super busty. For the ntth time, I will not go out with you. And I love that face. But yeah, it's super funny, and like she goes up there literally every day just to like, woo her, only to die. But in that world, the church has like a respawn system.
Oh wow.
Yeah, as long as you pay though, like if you don't have enough money to cover the fee, they just let you die.
Holy shit.
So someone on the comments actually made a really funny comment. They're like, "Oh wow, like actual healthcare."
That's true. Hey, they're not wrong. If you don't pay your fees, you could possibly end up dying in a hospital bed.
Right?
Oh my god. But yeah, like that show goes as well. Like it's kind of the opposite. Instead of like the hero wooing wooing the demon lord, she's the one who ends up wooing him.
Oh.
Because in this story, they've been at war for like a bunch of times, and like each demon lord's always succeeded by the previous one. Oh. So her being the newest one, when he first came to attack her, she was like, "Wait, no." I was like, "Wait," "Wait, you have to listen to what I have to say."
No.
And like he ends up saying, like, "Yeah," I was like, "Don't you notice that this war is actually causing humanity to prosper?" And dude, it goes into a lot of politics. Because while he's with her, like you just see like backstages of like nobles talking with each other. It's like, yes, this war has generated a lot of profit for us because now people are more willing to pay their taxes for defense against the demon lord's army.
Oh, so I have a feeling there's people who aren't gonna want that relationship to keep going because they kind of want the wars to keep going.
And the funny thing is, you see those horns?
Yeah,
they're just a decoration.
Oh,
because she even says it in the first episode.
Oh, actually, I think that's a spoiler right there. In the little trailer?
Yeah. Because, like, it's one of those things that shows up in the first episode. Because, like, after the credits and everything, you just see her take off the horns and, like, wait, those are fake? It's like, yeah. It's like, what do you think? All demons grew horns?
Well, horns are kind of metal.
Yep.
Yeah, in this one, the Demon Queen has, like, horns and a tail. And there's a part where they tried to, like, get her disguised as a human so she could go and look for the human girl. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you forgot to cover her like horns and tail. And they're like, oh right, I was just trying to look for something that looked cute on her. And then you just see her blowing up every human she's running into because they keep trying to hit on her.
Oh wow.
So anyway, guys, it is Friday once again, so that means we are back at it again with them anime reviews, which shout out to Mamoru Hosoda for having a film get nominated for an Oscar, Mirai, which I still haven't seen it.
I haven't even heard of it.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's the guy who did like Summer Wars and stuff.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. But finally, we have another anime movie nominated for an Academy Award after like 2 years without one. Even though given we didn't have a movie in 2017, an anime movie 2017 that was worthy of an Oscar, even though if you ask the anime community, a bunch of like they're mad that Your Name wasn't nominated, and I'm like,
A Silent Voice as well, I think was one of them.
Yeah, This Corner of the World. But guess what, people? Those are 2016 movies.
Yep. And
they tried to get Your Name nominated for an Oscar for the 2017 one, but it just, the slot wasn't there for it. Mm-hmm. Because they needed to cram in another goddamn Disney movie in there.
Was that The Boss Baby?
No, that's not Disney. But didn't the Boss Baby win?
I think so.
Oh my god, what's wrong with the world?
I think it was one of them. And then, what else was it? Crap, I forgot it. Keep going, Danny, while I try to remember what I was going to say next.
Yeah, but you know, everyone knows that the animation award is always the Disney award. Like, if another animated movie comes out, that's only because that particular Disney animated film didn't make enough money. Or someone had actually saw that movie and are like, dude, this is better than whatever Disney put out.
Oh, dude, yeah, which reminds me, like, did you see that video of the anime man when he put out, like, we preemptively thought what was going to happen at the Crunchyroll Awards?
No.
Because he made a video, because, like, you know, like, every year, like, he always, like, reacts to, like, well, what happened to the Crunchyroll Awards?
Yeah, he didn't do that this year, huh?
This year he decided to do one early before they started.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, holy shit, man, most of the nominations are for Megalobox.
Yeah.
So there's like best male lead character, and then Joe from Megalobox. Best villain of the series was Yuri from Megalobox. Best soundtrack was from Megalobox.
Was that really what happened?
Well, one of the it's one of these shows that was like showing consistently throughout each category as a nomination.
No, but it was one of those that kept getting nominated for stuff.
It's one of those animes that kept getting nominated for almost everything.
Oh, so it was like Yuri on Ice. Too bad he didn't have best Megalobox. Fuck, what's that other boxing anime?
Which one? Hajime no Ippo?
Yeah, Hajime no Ippo. Best Megalobox. Hajime no Ippo. God, I love that joke. Best Yuri on Ice. Free.
That made me laugh when I first saw the best Yuri on Ice free swing club.
And then when he was doing like the yearly wrap up, he talked about Yuri on Ice, and he just see like an ice skater skating with a chicken cutlet on the head. Man, Yuri on Ice, I may have never saw what other people saw in Yuri on Ice, but I do respect like all the hilarity that came out of it.
Dude, Yuri on Ice actually had some pretty funny moments to it as well.
Yeah.
And again, expensive as hell to animate like any type sort of motions when it comes to dancing or any type of art form like that as well.
Hence why the best animation was like in the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Just dipped.
Dude, after that they pretty much had to save their budget for like the rest of the motion capture, because after that it's like, fuck, do we focus on quality or making the dances look realistic?
Yo, I don't mind if it's like the Dragon Ball Z movie, if like when they were talking, the animation looked really bad, but then when the fighting kicked in, that's where you could tell all the budget was in. So, yeah, I'm okay with that. And also RIP, not RIP, but before we do go into the review, I am very sorry to hear what's going on with Vic Mignogna right now.
Oh, yeah,
You know
yeah.
that, right? Yeah. Yeah, you know, whether it's true or false, we should be adults and not, you know, blame the victims for coming out right now, or first of all, attack Rooster Teeth for firing him as Crow. And don't use Monty's death as a reason not to do that, because they were doing that. People, that's the thing I don't like, is how people use Monty's death to kind of guilt them. Like, you better make Bumblebee canon, which, you know, is Blake and Yang together.
Yeah.
They're like, you better make that canon because that's what Monty would have wanted. And it's like, Monty made Sun. Monty was very much wanting Blake to be straight because he made a male love interest for her. Like, no, Bumblebee will not be canon, and me and Daniel have already talked about it. If it becomes canon, it is such bullshit. But also, like, just saying, you know, you shouldn't have fired Vic because Monty would have kept him. No, Monty wouldn't have. And plus, Monty's just the animator. Monty's just the creator of the show. The Rooster Teeth people are still signing his paychecks. He'll follow them. He would have followed them and been like, yeah.
Because by the way, man, Yang already belongs to Blake's mother. So like that's pretty much what's stopping that from making canon. Now she pretty much just belongs to like Blake's mother already.
Yeah, let her get with a Belladonna. Heyo. Yeah. Because people, I think someone at Rooster Teeth did say that Yang might be bisexual, so just give her Alia. Fuck it.
No, I will die for Yang.
Huh?
I would not doubt it for Yang if she was like, if she just swung everywhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she was even panned just like that, like that out there. Sorry, I just referenced a character that you haven't seen yet because that was a season 4 character.
I know. I'm like here, like, oh, okay.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is, but I'll just go with it.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get down to it. So, we are talking about the third, final installment that came out in 2017, I think.
Yep, April 7th, 2017.
Oh, okay.
Right on the trailer.
I'm on it. So, I got everything on fleek. I don't know what that means. Anyway, but yeah, we are talking, as you guys probably know, we were not able to complete the third Kizumonogatari movie. Luckily, that phone call happened right when we were finishing up too. So it was like, okay, good. We didn't leave you in the middle of like, nothing. Mm-hmm. So we got some, like good stuff coming right now because we are going to be talking about the third, final, and arguably the longest of the movies, Kizumonogatari Part 3. Reiketsu. Do you know what those are translating to?
So... bringing back memories of that fight.
Yep. Wow, actually showing it in the trailer too.
Yep. Holy fucking Christ, he's ripped as a vampire. I keep forgetting that.
Right. Oh, they're playing things from the other movies.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that scene. Chicken.
Oh, that was funny as hell. Oh yeah, that fucking dream.
Yeah. I wish I had known this came out in theaters, but for some reason Aniplex just doesn't give their stuff to like Fathom events, so you always have to go to like the Hollywood Independent, the LA Independent to watch these.
It is Hollywood Independent though.
Hollywood?
No, I'm just saying it's independent of Hollywood.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Now I want some weird ass director to try to make a American adaptation of this. First of all, you can't because the stories are Japanese as fuck.
Yep. So like any and all references are pretty much like it's literally just like it's literally just all in the grammar of Japanese in general. Especially all the fucking tongue twisters and then like all the grammatical things that they go for as well.
Yeah.
Kanji specific jokes that you just wouldn't translate well at all.
Yeah, I never caught this until, she said it in the movie and you showed me that funny subtitle. I didn't even notice that that Kishot was speaking in a completely different dialect.
Just like that, that her form of Japanese was antiquated compared to like where it is right now. Because what she learned was literally from like what period was it? The Edo period?
It was, yeah.
So really old Japanese.
Yeah, and like not meeting anyone to kind of catch up the times and surviving until arguably, like whenever the series came out. I think Kizo was like 2011 or older than that perhaps. Mm-hmm. Oh shoot, why did I put this back in my pocket? But while it's still here, might as well do some research. How about you continue on to what we were saying?
So Kizumonogatari Part 3. God. So Kizumonogatari Part 3 pretty much leaves off at the final battle between Araragi and Guillotine Cutter. So this is when he finally got back all the parts of Kishot. I'm just going to call her that because I can still not say her whole name without messing it up.
You mean Kishot Arisola? No, I fucked up too. Fuck, what was it? Yeah, I think it was like Acerola Orion Heart Underblade or something. I could be wrong.
I've still not bothered to remember the whole thing because I'm like, no, she becomes Shinobu later on. That's easier to remember, better on the mind.
Yeah, either call it Kishot or Shinobu. I'll probably be doing that too.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and he manages to get all of her parts back. And we learned that when pretty much like when dramaturgy, guillotine cutter. What the fuck was his last name? What the fuck was the other guy's name?
Episode.
There we go. When they assaulted Kiss Shot, Shinobu Meme, which is like the one that's been helping out Aragi, mentions that like, what if I told you that when they attacked her, she was already incomplete? Because the one thing that Aragi could not wrap his mind around at the time is like, wait, if she was so powerful and everything, how was she able to be? How was she so easily defeated? When she was jumped by those three, she told me that she could have easily gotten those three if she was at full power.
Yeah, and damn, this is gonna take forever to go through. But yeah, and he was even realizing that with where she's at right now and what he can do, he's arguably more powerful than her right now.
So that's when Oshino like pretty much lets Araragi know that, okay, well, you figured I'm glad you're starting to think about this, because now think about it, she was probably incomplete at the time, and what's the one thing that all vampires require where they draw most of their power from? And it's their blood.
Yeah.
And what do you need in order to get that blood pumping around your body?
A heart.
Oh, I was gonna say cholesterol, but that too.
Oh yeah.
Cholesterol makes the heart work overtime for no reason.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so he reveals that like, yeah, so she needs this, I think in the movie he just throws something.
Yeah.
And he picks it up and it's glowing and like you don't know what it is, but you can tell on Otonagi's face like, oh, he threw me something terrible. And yeah, it was a fully healthy looking, glowing red beating heart. And he's like, yeah, so originally after you got all her body parts back, I was going to be like, surprise, I have a heart and now you have to fight me too. But I still feel bad about class prez, so we'll just call it even.
Yeah. And then that's pretty much when he gives Araragi her heart, and he says like, okay, so from now on it's up to you to decide like what do you do with it, like, so it's up to him whether he like gives it back to Kiss Shot and makes her whole again, or if he keeps it hidden and makes sure that he keeps her under control or anything. And like you said, it's pretty much his way of like trying to like make amends for what happened to Hanekawa. I'm already forgetting names.
Yeah, he even went as far to wipe away the 5 million yen.
Yeah.
They owed him because again, I completely understand why he'd do that, because they paid you extra to protect a girl and you did not do your job, sir.
Yep.
But yeah, so he does so, gives the heart back to Kiss Shot, who is so happy that she's fully complete that she doesn't even care about the guy who stole her heart without even knowing it.
I know, right?
Yeah, because that's what happened. He didn't fight her, right? He just like passed by her, took it, and she didn't know the wiser. Yeah,
because the way Oshino described it is like he said while she was too busy dealing with dramaturgy episode and then guillotine cutter, he snuck in there to actually steal her heart. And that's what that was what pretty much enabled the rest of them to be able to like take her limbs and pretty much claim them so that she couldn't be able to regenerate them.
What, did he know about that? Did he say whether the three of them knew about him being there?
He just said he just said like they were just all professionals who were like just aiming for the same goal. Because like they were vampire hunters who were trying to keep Kiss Shot under control. Yeah. And then Shinobu was just there just to keep a balance because he knew that the Kiss Shot is pretty much dangerous already. So he's like, okay, so if I let these guys have an advantage, they can help me keep control over her without having too much of an impact right now.
Oh, okay then.
So it's just, if anything, just like a coming of together like similar interests pretty much.
Yeah, which we will later see as the show goes on. Oh, by the way, Kizu was published in 2008.
2008.
Yeah, so that's arguably like where the movie's taking place.
When I was in elementary.
Ella! You're making me feel so fucking old. I was only on my way to freshman year. Yeah, like I had just graduated middle school and I was like on my way to freshman year. Oh my fucking god, I feel so old. See, that's why my cousin was complaining about, oh, I don't like being in community college because it's so hard and it's taking so long. I'm like, you're 18. I'm 25. I've been there way longer than I was supposed to. You have plenty of time, sweetheart. but anyway, God, yeah. I don't know why that's hitting me now. I guess it's because you almost never brought it up until recently, and now you really are like dating yourself, and I'm like, oh God.
Dude, the way you're reacting right now is pretty much how Jonathan reacted when he first met me in winter class. Because when I first came to the class, like that was like that same year, that was like after fall of my first semester, I went there. And I had already gotten into the tennis team and everything because I was like busting my ass to get into the college team.
Yeah.
So when I came to the school, I always came with my like sports gear and everything. And Jonathan thought I was like, oh shit, he must be a senior or some shit because he's like in the team or something.
Yeah. Like you've already established. So of course there was like no. Yeah, there was nothing like he's young. I knew I knew like the winter session was like your first time being there. I just didn't know that you were that young. Like we met a couple of people who they were there, but it was because they slept on the college for a long time and then finally decided to go. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I didn't realize you were that young until I think like a couple of months after we knew you, and then I just forgot because again you almost never bring it up.
Yeah, because it never comes up. Rarely does it ever come up.
Yeah, and you don't want to be that. You don't want to be like those girls or guys who are like, I have a girlfriend or I have a boyfriend, and it's just like, yeah, I'm like 5 years younger than you guys. Okay, I don't get how that's relevant, but all right. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter how old you are to like anime, unless you're really young and you think.
I mean, if you're really young and I'm watching the Monogatari series, like there's something going on there.
Yeah, if you're really young and you're respecting the Monogatari series, then you're a serial killer.
Serial killer, or probably just you're probably in like one of those gifted programs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're like a prodigy, but those young prodigies scare the fuck out of me. There's a horror movie that came out today called The Prodigy for crying out loud.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it's about a little boy who's also a genius, but is a killer kid.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the movie.
This is after we were talking about like when she became whole and then like she's not caring about that Oshino stole her heart.
Oh yeah, and I was saying that and we would later see how a similar thing like that again when Shinobu technically no what was Oshino, my bad. So Oshino his last name and Meme is his first name, right?
Yeah, Oshino Meme.
Or meme.
Yeah, that's true. For the English audience, it's meme.
Yeah. But like Oshino Meme wrote him that note saying, yeah, so me, Kaiki, I've technically Kanbaru's aunt, and then
Fuck, what was her name?
Yeah, I forgot her name too, but
I remember I had a huge thing for her.
Yeah, they went out to go and like stop her, and we know that even though they didn't say whether he was involved, we do know that what's his name Episode is still alive and was there to help them when they wanted to stop the alternate Araragi. I forgot her name. I love her and I forgot her name.
Which one?
The girl with like the really weird dead face. The one who's the alternate version of Araragi.
Oh, Ogi.
Ogi. There we go, Ogi. Yeah, but like we know he was involved when they wanted to stop Ogi. So we know that like these vampire hunters, they're kind of egotist, and like Kaiki is a flat-out villain in the very beginning of the show when he's first introduced.
But then becomes best man.
Yeah, becomes best man. But we do know that these vampire hunters may be morally ambiguous, but they mean well when it really gets down to it. They just don't care if they have to kidnap a civilian in the process.
Well, that was Guillotine Cutter.
Guillotine Cutter.
And then I remember Oshino mentioned the reason why he had to do this because since he's purely human and everything, he understands that he's already physically limited when it comes to like against the supernatural. So for Guillotine Cutter, when he fights, he can't really do it like he can't make it like a physical fight like on like Episode or on Dramaturgy can, because like those guys like well, especially Dramaturgy, like he's already like a fucking beast.
Yeah.
And then Episode has like a gift already that makes him more lethal.
Yeah.
So Guillotine Cutter, if anything, has to think more on his toes, so that because he knows like, okay, if I can't fight them physically, I'm gonna have to outsmart them.
Huh. Yeah. I remember him explaining that, but now it's like just like when we were reviewing the first movie last week, the details are going fuzzy.
And then, if anything, the saddest part about for Guillotine Cutter, because I remember he gave a reason why all of them, how like Dramaturgy was just how Dramaturgy became a vampire hunter because he explained like how there are people, even vampires, and and they're kind of having these faction wars and everything.
Yeah.
And then Episode, just because he was a half aberration, half human, so like he obviously hates vampires.
Yeah.
And then Guillotine Cutter just did it out of just out of moral obligation that this was his job.
Yeah. He's the man of the church. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't know how to word it.
Yeah, so he's the man of the church, so he needs to stop this. So when you said I feel bad for Guillotine Cutter, I thought we're getting there already.
Oh no, well that too. But that too.
But
if you want, you can talk about that scene when she tells Araragi to go get snacks before she leaves.
Yeah, so what ends up happening is she's so happy and he's asking so when are you gonna turn me back into a human? Are you gonna do it now? And she's like, after. Can we just talk for a little? And it's an interesting scene because I've had that actually happened when I met Aki. So what happened is she wanted to talk to Araragi, but she didn't really know what to talk about. And I remember when I met Aki, I'm like, I want to talk to her and not just ask for a photo, but I don't know where to start. And luckily, I helped her. I helped her look for a Junji Ito manga, and again, I feel really bad for helping her find that because it was arguably the worst one I've read. A Dissolving Classroom, if you've heard of that one.
I remember you were telling me a lot about that when you after you met Aki.
Yeah, in my humble opinion, I hate that book because it's him trying to be scary, but at the same time, it's really stupid and silly, and the ending was dumb. I helped her find that, and by the end of our conversation, we were talking about dealing with how she's dealing with fans, how she's wants to improve herself, and how being a YouTuber will affect her life. I'll cut this out if I feel like it might be a little inappropriate, but she actually had to break up with someone while doing the YouTube thing because the guy didn't like the time she was putting in, so she cut things. So it's making...
Yeah. If anything, you can just decide to what to do with the information as well, but totally understand where that's coming from as well, because sometimes it's gonna happen. This is for all your people who are younger than I am.
Yeah.
Especially who are younger than I am.
Yeah, especially for the people who are younger than you and bigger than us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna meet when you meet somebody special, somebody here's gonna be real talk before we come back to the movie. It'll tie back to the movie, we promise.
Yeah.
But real talk, if anything, if you meet somebody you think maybe it's the love of my life or anything like that as well. Don't let that initial now here comes my psychology lesson as well.
Damn. Psychology with Lou Scotcha, my favorite segment.
But don't let that initial feeling of love blind you to like what's going on around in your relationship as well. Because eventually, like, there's going to be things where, like, you know, this happens with all relationships. Like, it's natural. Don't think that if you experience conflict or, like, some arguments or anything, that, oh, there's something wrong with the relationship. Naturally, it's going to happen. Because, like, eventually there are going to be some things that, you know, are going to be conflict of interest that maybe one person can't dedicate as much time as they used to, or another person has another opportunity that's going to take them far away. Mm-hmm. When things like that come around and everything like that as well, it's usually best to see, like, okay, is this really going to put a dent on our relationship, or will, like, me supporting that person, like, really benefit both of us?
Yeah.
Because sure, they may move far away or somewhere to, like, a tennis opportunity, but that doesn't mean they're going to be gone forever. Like, they'll come back eventually.
Yeah. But if you also have a person who is, like, you know, in Aki's situation, where as far as I knew, that person didn't have anything going on in their life, he just didn't appreciate the fact that she was spending so much time on this and not with him, which I'm assuming is what happened, because she just told me the bare bones of it.
Oh.
But I've seen that happen. I've heard other stories of other people in her position, you know, work out exactly like that. So you do it because the person's being selfish, and if anyone is interfering with your dreams, then you cut them off. And if you ever meet someone who is, like, pushing you, then you make sure you hold on to that person if the relationship is there.
Yeah. And then red flag, never. Red flag. Always be wary of people who are very possessive of you, because if they're trying to like physically like actually stop you from like pursuing something you like or anything that you think is going to benefit both of you guys as well, but they're too a little bit like they're not on board with the idea that they're going to have to make sacrifices as well. Because, you know, relationships are sacrifices. One person has to sacrifice for the other and vice versa. It's a give and take thing.
Yeah, like
that song by Nano. Ooh, Nano's such a good singer. Sorry, I love her.
Show me that when this is over. Also, I forgot to show you the Justin Bieber show. I'm like, it's only like a minute long and I forgot to show it to you.
Oh.
But yeah, so... for example, that screenwriter C. Robert Cargill, who wrote Doctor Strange, the Sinister movies, like he wrote some books too that are really good. But his wife pushed him and kept him from procrastinating. And when she would come home and see him sitting down doing nothing, she's like, "How many pages of your book did you write? Did you write any? No, then do it." So, you'll find someone like that. But, and again, I think I'll probably censor out her name or edit this in a way where you can't even tell it was about her. But anyway, heading back to it, that's how I felt was like,
and hey, it's appropriate because Valentine's Day is coming up soon, so this does come in line with what we're doing.
Yeah, that is true, but I don't want people to hear this. I don't want someone to hear this.
Well, no, we can just edit out like any specifics or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But I want to keep in the whole talk.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna, I'll mention like Aki. Like Aki's, me and Aki comparison to Edit Aki and Kiss Shot, and then I'll jumble it around.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like that's what I had. I'm like, well, what do I talk to her about? Oh, okay, things worked out, and with them, they did what really does tend to happen in other conversations. They talk about not having anything to talk about, and then it went on into this giant, deep concept of like her thoughts on being a vampire. And
yeah, because one of the questions that Araragi asked her was like, how was it like living these past 500 years and everything? Because to him, he's really curious as to like what she's experienced so far.
Mm-hmm.
But for her, it's like that's not the case. Because when she's like, what you really want to talk about, like, because to be honest, they're not the most interesting 500 years that I've lived.
Yeah.
And it's just like but there is one instance. There is one memory that I am quite fond of. Because she tells Araragi, she's like, remember how I told you you're the second kin that I ever produced? Well, let me tell you the story about the first, and it goes back to only Monogatari.
Yeah, my favorite story arc.
Favorite story arc that had probably one of the most like bizarre events happening at the time.
Yeah. Wait, which one was that? When the armor came out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. But like they're just in a classroom, and then like opening the door, and an armor comes out and starts like draining. Does it drain Araragi or does it drain Kanbaru? Because I know Kanbaru was there.
I know. I think it went for... I want to say it went for Araragi just because he's a vampire.
Yeah.
Part
vampire. And Shinobu was probably hiding in the shadow at that time. But yeah, so they go back to it. And they actually tell you a little bit more information. Mm-hmm. Like how initially he was okay with being her spawn, and then just got bored and killed himself because if I remember in Oni Monogatari, he was disgusted that she did that to him and then immediately killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then was, living inside something still because he was still like somewhat cautiously alive and slowly building his form back.
Yeah, and that's when she explained that like he stuck around for about a year or so. And initially... like how you said, like he was disgusted that she actually turned him into a vampire to like live for quite a while.
Yeah.
And for him, the shock of having to live like for eternity and watching like all his friends and loved ones like pass before him, kind of scared him to the idea. Initially, that's where the shock came from, and then he got used to it for about a year. And then what killed him is pretty much what killed him. What made him decide that he didn't want to live as a vampire anymore is pretty much what caused Araragi to decide like, shit, I have to fight Kiss Shot.
Yeah.
And if you want, we can go into that scene as well with Guillotine Cutter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they have like a really sweet, happy moment, and she's like, okay, well, come here and I'll turn you back into a human. And he's like, actually, all that talking made me kind of hungry. So I'm going to, do you want something to eat? And she's like, yeah, you can bring me whatever ration you want. I'm not really picky. And he's like, ration, okay.
Oh, did you say ration in the movie you watched?
Yeah.
Because for the one when I watched, she called it a mobile snack.
Oh wow, that sub made it very apparent, but she said ration. Yeah.
Dude, when I don't know, dude, that went completely over my head when she says mobile snack. I'm like, huh, is that moon speak for like a vending machine or some shit?
Yeah, maybe like fast food.
I was thinking that. That's what I thought initially until she revealed what she really meant before that. I was like, oh fuck, I was pretty much just like Araragi. I did not read into that.
Yeah, because with me, when she said ration, I'm like, I know where this is going. Okay, I've seen enough of these movies, like American, foreign vampire movies. I've seen enough of them to know where this is going. But it's funny that she's calling it rations because God knows, she was living in time periods where they probably had rations like that. But again, rations to vampires would make sense because, we don't have a lot of humans, but we do have some rations in the back, which is probably just a bunch of people being treated like kennel. So he comes back saying, if this is going to be my last night as a vampire and her last night in Japan, I'm at least going to make it a happy memory. And he comes in. It's funny because Shaft being, the artist that they are, he's saying all this while you see something being torn apart, like off screen. So when he comes into the classroom, you just see her like coming in over a body and eating it. And the film made it very apparent, despite the fact that it was missing a head, that it was guillotine cutter's body. And she was, just not sucking its blood, but eating it like a goddamn animal, like ripping out parts of the body and like chewing on it. And I'm like, oh god, here we go. So here's another fair warning. This is the goriest out of the two films. Yep,
it is. Holy shit. And not just because of that scene, but as we'll see later on, what happens throughout the course of the actions as well.
Yeah, and the thing that made me laugh though is he comes in, obviously remembering, oh yeah, she's a vampire. And she's like, oh, hey, you're back. Sorry, I couldn't wait. He just showed up like 30 minutes ago. And I was too strong for his barrier, so I just killed him. Mm-hmm. And what was weird is when she picks up the head to show you its guillotine cutter, it was like a weird looking CG head.
Yeah.
I'm like,
before she ends up biting the lower part of his face. I was like, holy shit, it's showing the skull and everything. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
And I was definitely on board with Ararai's reaction when he's like just stood there in panic, just seeing the puddle of blood and dismemberment, and then just throws up a couple seconds later.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, man, that would have shocked me too.
Yeah, I think they did that purely to put the detail on that scene, because they could have done that in 2D, but maybe it didn't get the effect they wanted, and they're like, 3D will give us the effect. And yeah, it did, because as much as Giguk's voice was in my head. Is that bad CG? Hey man, why does your face look like bad CG?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he did like an entire video about bad CG, and he just kept like making that joke over and over again. But and again, the CG wasn't bad. It was just kind of weird being held in a 2D hand. But it gave me the effect. And I was sick, and I didn't want to eat after that.
Damn, no, I had the opposite for me. I actually got kind of hungry after that.
God, okay.
You know why? It's just like, I don't know. For me, it's weird. Like, if I see something get dismembered and everything, I'm like, oh god, it looks disgusting. But if I see somebody like legitimately enjoying it as like a 5-star meal, and they're like, you know what? I kind of want a steak right now.
You know what? Okay, so again, quick sidebar. It will not be as long as the last one. Hopefully, maybe not. I cannot guarantee that. Do you remember that when they made a Hannibal TV show?
Oh yeah, the Hannibal Lecter series.
Yes. There were scenes where they would have him, and they would not hide it at all. They would show him killing someone, harvesting the organ, and then cooking it like a goddamn 5-star chef. Like, it was flat out food porn, and it would look so good until you remember, oh wait, that's a human lung.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my god! Yeah, that is like the only time that I got like. If I see someone eating a person raw, then yeah, I'm gonna feel disgusted. But if they, do it like you said, where they make it look appetizing, then it's like I'm hungry, but oh god, why is this getting me hungry?
You see? I think for me, what contributes to it is that I'm like Kishan, I'm not really a picky eater either.
Oh,
so
God.
if I see someone generally just enjoy eating anything, I'm like, I kind of want a piece of that action. I want to try that.
Give me a little bit of kidney. I hear those are great. But man, well, from what it looked like with Kid Shot, she was just about done with like the torso. Like it was just empty, except for her ripping something out and chewing on it again. But yeah. Ederagi's terrified and realized, right. And they asked him before in the second movie too, have you felt hungry at all? And he said no, like the idea of blood, because they said nothing about the whole body. But he said, no, I haven't really had a craving for blood, but I'm not necessarily hungry for human food either. So he just thought that it was a free will. Like I can eat human food, but if I want, I can also drink human blood.
Oh god, it's like the ghoul thing where like they're forced to eat humans just because their tongues look differently than humans.
Right. Or like the parasites where they can eat regular food.
Yeah.
They just choose to eat people because it's in the hardware.
Choose to eat people because it's in their hardware, and also to spread themselves as well.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the thing that because they showed Edoragi can eat human food. The thing with ghouls is, their entire body just can't support it. If you do what Toka did and eat like an entire hot pot and force it down, you're gonna feel sick for like a week, I think they said.
Yeah, and then that's why like when they were teaching Kaneki how to eat, they were just like, remember, don't actually chew this shit. Just don't chew it at all, so you don't taste it at all.
Yeah.
Swallow it whole, so that when you throw up, the whole thing's able to come back out more intact.
Yeah, or do this where you move your mouth a little bit. Bring a napkin, pretend you're cleaning yourself, and hide it in the napkin. Because, like, you'll have ghouls who will go all the way with it, like Reese, where Reese took a little nibble of a sandwich and was like, I have to go to the bathroom now. But yeah, so we do have stuff like that going on. But again, Kishad, like, their vampires are like, we eat everything. There's no blood. We eat everything. Mm-hmm. So one of the more horrifying things she said that flew over my head though was that I thought you were gonna bring rations. Where's the one with the braids and glasses? I'm like, oh shit, she wanted him to bring Hanakawa.
And you know what? When she mentioned that, I was like, oh, that's what she called her a mobile snack. I thought that was just moonspeak for like fast food or some shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, I see. I was duped just like Araragi was.
Yeah. With me, I'm like, okay, I know you mean a person. I just didn't know you thought he was gonna bring Hanakawa. Like, that girl was helping you guys out while you were a regular, while you were in your weakened state. You might not want to eat the person who was helping you guys. But again, Kishot's one of those everyone is beneath me kind of vampires. Mm-hmm.
Rightfully so, because she is one of the more powerful ones too.
Oh yeah.
Because remember what Oshino said, that her bloodline's actually kind of rare, where she's like more closer to like being a pure blood. Even though later on we discovered why she's like not entirely pure blooded.
Did they ever? They never stated that in the show, right?
I don't remember. Dude, there's so many episodes to go back through right now.
The fact that me binging the show day and night still took me 3 months to do really does show you how long the show is.
And then again, it's just so dialogue heavy and everything. It's like one of those. It's pretty much one of those series where it's like you're gonna remember general ideas first. But it's going to take you a lot longer to remember more of the specifics and a lot of the world building that comes with the Monogatari series as well. Because it's like, how many fucking seasons are there?
Fuck, I don't know. Like, just seasons, I want to say around 6 or 7. But, like, the arcs, there's got to be at least more than 20 of them by now.
A lot of arcs and everything, and just so many little interactions.
And he's still writing the book, right?
I believe he's almost finished with it.
Oh shit! Yeah, and given this book series started like in 2007, 2008, like the dude's been busy.
Yep. Did I save it here? Well, continue.
And let's not forget that he's also writing stuff in between that too. I think Zodiac War was during the Monogatari series run.
Oh yeah, I still haven't finished that one.
Oh, we should do that. We should do that after, because I realized the episode you want to do is on Valentine's Day, so that means my next pick can be whatever.
Yeah. No, this is just a funny joke. I forgot about this picture.
What is? Why is that in your phone?
It's a game reference.
Anyway, back to the show.
You can continue with the analysis. I'm gonna try to recover from this.
What the fuck? See, and the worst thing you'll find in my phone is a bunch of lewd cosplay models. That's the worst thing you'll find in my phone.
For me, it's just antiquated Japanese porn, but reshown but remodeled as a game meme.
Oh my god. Anyway,
I'll tell you the context of this photo afterwards.
Oh my God.
I'm just gonna get sidetracked.
Oh yeah. So anyway, back to it. Edoragi is of course horrified. Calls Hanakawa, and basically just lets her know that he doesn't know what to do by this point. Except for one thing, he knows that she needs to be taken care of. Mm-hmm. So he called her there to kind of... Oh, what are these?
Tostitos.
Oh.
My addiction.
So he basically called her to say goodbye, because he was going to basically stop Kishot, realizing, okay, she's one of the most powerful vampires in the world, but I'm equal to her strength, and if I just let her go when she turns me into a human, she's going to do this to other people. So he calls Hanakawa to say bye. Mm-hmm. And one thing that kind of cracked me up in that scene is she comes in and he's like, "Oh no, but you lured me into the gym locker room and locked the door, storage room, and locked the door. What will I ever do if you do lewd things to me?" So it's funny, because to me that always sounds like, "Ooh, I hope you don't do anything bad to me," wink. And of course he's just like, "So for my final wish, I want to touch your boobs."
Oh yeah. when Hanako, because like this happened after like she told her like the reasons like why he can't just go and like up and die and everything. Mm-hmm. So she was like pretty much motivating her. It's like, "No, you can fix this problem as well, and you know that it's okay to rely on all of us." He's like, "Okay, but if I'm gonna go through all of this 100%, I just have one request. Can I fondle your breasts?" And I like the reason that he gives to her as well. I was like, "Wait, so how is this exactly gonna help you?" He's like, "Think about it, Hanakawa. Have you seen Kishot's adult form yet?" It's like, "No." And can you imagine how big she is?
Oh, because you've seen the 17-year-old.
Yes, it's like, no, but I can imagine how big she is right now, just from like the previous forms. It's like, well, think about that, but she's much bigger than that.
Yeah.
And I can't fight her if I'm going to be gazing at that magnificent bosom of hers the whole fight. It's gonna distract me and I'm gonna lose. That's why I need somebody else with a comparable chest to get my mind off of it.
Yeah. So while I'm fighting, I realize those may be good, but I have the feeling of groping these in my hand, and I want to do that again. I will not lie. As creepy as that scene was, it was like, dude, that makes so much sense if you're a big fucking pervert like he was. But like, even I'm like that. I can't argue with that logic.
I mean, it's stupid, but it makes for his character type, it makes sense.
Yeah, because we know the kind of guy he is. He's an incestuous lolicon who likes big boobs. But we know just like how much of a weirdo he can be. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so he agrees to it after, you know, having like have a moment to like prepare myself and like think it over, and she lets him. And I want to say like 4 or 5 minutes, maybe even more than that. It really is like her unbuttoning her shirt and him like filling her up and
thinking about it, because
Yeah.
like throughout the whole thing, she says like she wants him to turn around until because the thing that she does is that she actually takes off her bra as well, so he can get the full feeling of it. And then it's funny because you can see Araragi's nervous about this as well, because he may come off as a pervert and everything, but like he's really conscious about a lot of the shit he does.
Yeah. But the thing is like when that scene happens, they don't really tell you it was his inner thoughts. It just starts happening, and you're like, "Whoa, this is getting a little uncomfortable." Like,
Dude, it was so funny how he initiated, because you just see him as a robot. He's like, all right, he comes like, okay, he's like raises his arms up, slowly comes up behind us, like gently like goes down. And keep in mind, throughout this whole interaction, not once does he touch them.
no, but he like gets on top of her, like mounts her, is like rubbing his.
He's just like rubbing the air. He does that thing that Kazuma does in like in Konosuba when he threatens to steal the girl's panties, and he goes like.
And yeah, but you also see him like rubbing his leg against like her crotch. Like it gets super like things are about to get pornographic right now.
Dude, the way he did his hands and everything, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man! Like this scene like went from him being completely nervous to like everything like him being more dominating, and then like Kaneko's kind of like getting into the role.
Yeah.
This was just like, oh my god, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, this is getting weird. But when it goes into reality and he's just shaking like, actually I can't do it anymore, and it's just like. Chicken, like he's calling him that, and he's like, well,
yes, I'm a chicken. He's like, I'm sorry, but I just couldn't do it anymore.
And it's like, you made me mentally prepare for this, put me through that stress, only for you to chicken out. And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, can I just give you a shoulder massage instead? I think that'll be better. And this whole time, as you know, one of my favorite things about the Monogatari series is when they just flat out change the art style. And I like how everything in this art style is a 3D background with a 2D regularly John Hanekawa. But like you just see this white, very cartoony outline of Araragi to kind of symbolize the lower human he feels right now. And it's just like a shoulder rub. That's it. Man, I was prepared for this to happen, and I'm not stupid. I know this probably would have escalated into more.
I know, because like he even asked us like, I was like, but just out of curiosity, like, how prepared were you going? How prepared were you for this? Like, I was even prepared for this to go beyond like just fondling my breasts. I was saying like, so this is it. I'm gonna have my first time here in the gym closet on a gym floor mat, and I'm like, that's so stereotypical. That's like pretty much every school hentai that I've seen.
Yeah. Oh my god. You're right. I cannot count how many. Even that zombie anime Kensei.
Oh yeah,
they
Ballbusters.
They have a bunch of sex scenes in like they have one sex scene in a supply closet, and then another sex scene in another gym supply closet. It's like
in the locker rooms.
Yeah, the locker rooms.
It's such a stereotypical thing, because whenever you think of a gym closet, it's like, oh, bunch of supplies, you can just lock it so no one walks in there, and it's all dark and shit.
Yeah, but that's why. But yeah, it's she was fully prepared to like, yeah, I'm gonna end up fucking this guy. Don't know. I know I like him, but I'm not prepared for that. But one thing we forgot to point out,
the
dream, yeah. So before this happens, what made him want to call her was he has this dream after seeing Kishot, eat that guy. But he has this dream, this really nice dream of him making out with Hanekawa, and it's a very sweet moment. But then you see his like mouth bite down on her lip and like rip her face off and sucking it up like a noodle, and then you just see like the skeletal remains of her face and like him chewing it like a madman, and oh god, that dream.
Again, one of the goriest of the three movies for a good reason.
Yeah, and easily one of the most disturbing things I have seen, and it's a goddamn cartoon.
You know what the funny part was? When I was watching this, again, my favorite activity after watching a movie or any type of show, I always read the comment sections. And you know what people said?
What?
When they saw that scene of Araragi like fondling Hanekawa? He's like, guys, we found it. We found the scene even more creepier than the toothbrush scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna argue with that. It was pretty much On par or even more creepier than that.
Yeah, the only reason I still find the toothbrushes scene creepier is because it was a flat out like innuendo of oral sex, and it was with his biological little sister. So that's why that scene still kind of ooks me out. But yeah, the thing is that toothbrush thing goes on for like about 2 minutes, maybe even less than that.
So much
It
longer.
feels longer than that. That's why I'm like, it might not even be 2 minutes. This scene goes on, because it's a flat out dialogue, this scene goes on for, I want to say, like 4 to 5 minutes. It is a long scene. So that's why it's a little bit more ooky, because you're like, this is still going on? Stop it. But, what we... Oh, right, that scene. Yeah. That's one of my favorite things about watching the anime comments is like the comments are always going to be funny. I'll never forget one Ben told me when me and him reviewed Gyo. There's a scene where like a guy puts his hand that got infected with the death smell on those little spider leg thingies, and when they show that scene in the movie, Ben said someone commented, "The Fapid on 3000. Why have someone else masturbate you when your hand can come to you?" And I'm like, oh my god, no.
Oh my god, which reminds me of something. Continue.
Yeah, so it happens, but Hanekawa did give him his promise that he will not be there for the fight. He does not want her there at all because, again, he's fighting Kishot and he knows things are going to get insane. He is fighting the woman who turned him into a vampire and gave him all of these ridiculous, crazy powers, so he knows she's going to have his abilities too. So they meet, which is hilarious, absolutely hilarious. It kind of killed the tension for me, but again, like it was funny that I kind of ignored it. But they're fighting at the Japanese Olympic Stadium.
Yep.
And you just hear footage from like the 1940.
The last time they pretty much had the Olympics.
Yeah, the last time Japan had the Olympics, and you hear like sounds going, and like they're like, yes, let the Olympic Games begin, and like the flame in the background lights itself on fire, and it's like
to signify the torch.
Yeah.
Not the Fry Cook Games.
The Fry Cook Games. Hey, we got a sweet victory at the Super Bowl. You heard about that, right? Even though it would. Yeah, I mean,
the disappointing one though.
It was disappointing. They could have spent a little bit of money to recycle the scene, but like put the actual Super Bowl in there. Yeah, instead we got Mr. Maroon 5 doing it.
Yeah, Adam Levine's nipples.
Levine's nipples. But yeah, you get that like this really weird setup. And you get this scene that I'm glad they put in the trailer because it really hyped me up when you see like him saying, "I'm gonna stop you," and he says, "So now, please die, my master," and she's like, "Yes, die, my servant," and
before they're fighting and everything, and then making the same faces.
Yeah. And they both showing that they have the intent to kill.
Mm-hmm.
And he just goes in and in typical Edoragi fashion, completely owns his ass until Edoragi, like, his head goes back. And it's not that thing yet, but like his head goes back.
Yeah.
And they start fighting and he's like ripping pieces off her and she's ripping pieces off him. And it's not really like a fight with actual choreography yet. It's mainly, I punch you and blow something up. I punch you and blow something
Pretty
up.
much just them maiming themselves of anything.
Yeah.
So don't think of martial art fights, just think of like just two people ripping each other up and seeing who gives up.
Yeah. And
a more extreme version of Uncle, pretty much.
Oh yeah, there we go, Uncle. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, like in that scene, it was really disturbing. In that scene, you just see a bunch of severed heads of Kishot on the ground laughing while other heads of Edoragi are falling on the ground. Mm-hmm. And they're still there, which made the scene a lot more unnerving. And yeah, you get now like her, like now more chasing going on. There's a scene... Again, I hate the goddamn baby imagery in here.
I know.
There's a scene where she rips off his head, but the body is still running, and you see the head pop up, but it starts off as a little infant face and then quickly ages up. but you hear like the little baby crying, and
It's
I'm
just
like,
popping out, dude. That was for me. That was like the one thing that like kind of like sent the chill down. Was like, oh no, I don't do well with baby faces on grown bodies.
yeah, I don't like that at all. Like one thing I hate is that my Goodwill. Every Halloween, because Goodwill owns their own little set of masks.
Mm-hmm.
Every Halloween, Goodwill owns a baby face mask, and it's
God.
terrifying. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, I hate that so much. It's not even like the somewhat cute, creepy baby face like in Happy Death Day. No, it's a flat-out hyper-realistic baby face crying.
Oh shit.
But they're just going at it, and you're seeing some really cool imagery here. Wasn't that actually nominated for Best Fight at the Crunchyroll Awards?
I don't remember.
Shoot, I'll have to look at that Giga video, but I remember him talking about the fight because, Giga loves himself a good fight in anime.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is like more good on how ridiculous it gets. Like literally, they are Dragon Ball Zing up the place, except that they should actually be dying from all of this.
Oh yeah.
And
Shit, what's that photo? Keep going.
oh, okay. And
I'm trying to look for something and I can't find it.
yeah, and like Kish, what's her name? Hanekawa is that, and she realizes something about the fight. She's like, wait a second, this isn't right, guys, stop. And Anaki, you don't see what she's trying to do here, and it's like, what? She wants you to kill her. And then Kishot's like, yep, look, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I right now can't turn you into a human. There's honestly no way I can do that unless I die. So the whole plan was we were gonna fight a bit, and then at one point you were going to get the jump on me, and I die, you become a human, and I get what I always wanted for the last 300 years, I think you said?
Yeah. And this is where we realize the tragedy of Kishot, if anything. And again, you only ever get to see this tragedy come back again. Which one was it? Was it kizumonogatari, where he saves Hachikuji?
It was Monogatari season 2.
Season 2, there you go. Or like what if he did save Hachikuji and then but he ended up dying that day and Shinobu couldn't rescue her.
Yeah.
So you end up seeing that tragedy again, where she wanted to die because she wanted to protect the other person that she felt another connection with. Because she couldn't save the first that she legitimately kind of fell in love with.
Yeah, but since Hachikuji wasn't there to tell him that I think I saw her at the donut shop, he never showed up, went to go face Hanekawa Black on her own, and made her feel betrayed while at the same time tormented that the only other person that understood her is dead. Mm-hmm. Again. Yeah.
And this is where we pretty much reach a bit of a conflict. Because Kishot wants to die, and then this is where where she where out of light sucked some of her blood already, you see her kind of aged.
Oh my God, yeah! There's a scene where his severed head jumps on her neck, starts sucking it out, and you see more baby imagery, little baby body fling out and then grow into a full-grown person, and he basically drinks her down to what she's a tiny version of herself. But it's not the child voice actor coming in. Well, child voice actor. I think it's another grown woman. But it's still the grown Kishot voice coming out of her mouth.
A little bit more aged, if anything. Because when you see her, and that's when she reveals the big secret is that she's actually not a pureblood. That she actually at one point in time she used to be a human.
Yeah, and the more I'm thinking about it, I think this was the only time they mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the only one time she actually ever mentioned that she's actually not a pure-blooded vampire, as most people like to believe.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that she's lived long enough to already accept the blood that runs through her.
And doesn't even remember a lot about it. She's like, I think I was wealthy, but yeah, she definitely doesn't remember how she got turned.
Yeah. So all she ever remembers is just her life as a vampire then. And that's when we get the most interesting ending, where Oshino says there's two ways this could end. It's you can kill her, you can gain back your humanity, and it all could be well in the place. I can't offer you another ending where everybody wins, but I can offer you a solution where everybody loses something.
Yeah, because one of the things that was going on was she's like, look, what's gonna happen is you drank half of my blood, but once I regenerate, I'm gonna come back and I'm going to kill everyone. Everyone. So you better kill me. Like she was doing that thing that we see a lot in movies and TV shows is you better kill me now because I'm gonna kill someone. And
just pretty much make it that there's like no winning no matter unless like she gets her way.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. Oshino came in and said, "I can give you a solution where everyone loses, where you will not be human, you will be a half vampire, you will be a quasi vampire.
Yeah.
You'll still have to follow some of the rules, but you'll be more or less normal. While she will be forever shrunken in a form where she cannot."
She'll pretty much be a shell of her past, if anything.
Yeah, she'll be a hollow shell of her past. She can't hunt on her own, and she will eventually starve to death.
Yeah.
Meaning you will be the only other person that she needs to go to for food.
Yeah, because at that point, since she's again incomplete or just a part of her, a shell of her own self, the only person she can pretty much rely on for food is Araragi's, because he pretty much has her blood in her.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she gets her blood back. And this is where we go again with like the terminology and things. So it's like why she goes back to being Kisha when he gets killed in the Bakemonogatari season 2.
Yeah.
Is that unless one of them dies, if Araragi dies, then she becomes a full vampire.
Yeah.
If she dies, Araragi becomes a full human.
Yeah.
But since they're both in this like kind of limbo of like both half and half, they pretty much have to be relying on each other, and that's a major loss for her because being this proud vampire lineage. And her just wanting to like find rest, if anything, she doesn't want to live a life like that where she's like still like not only a shell of her past but like reliant on someone for her survival.
Yeah, like and you can really see how either way, because in my opinion, I'll go a little bit more into detail later.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, depending how this story ended, you still would have had what is essentially a masterpiece of a film series. Where if it ended with Araragi killing her, you get this beautiful story of a guy who has always been kind, giving kindness to a woman who was kicking him from the very beginning. And it was a very beautiful conclusion to a very likable character and a very beautiful conclusion for a character that you eventually start feeling bad for.
Yeah.
But since he decided to go with going in this limbo form, we then end up getting a very bittersweet ending of a beautiful film into what is a pretty damn good anime series.
And if anything, getting a crucial piece of the puzzle as to explaining again like why all of these things are even happening, like why the Bakemonogatari series even began.
Yeah, why she didn't talk at all in Bakemonogatari, because they even say like she doesn't talk at all in the first season, and it isn't until the second Nisa Monogatari where she finally pops up in the bathtub and says, "I still hate you guys for what you did to me," without actually saying what they did. And it's Kizo that explained why they have this parasitic relationship, why Araragi doesn't want to end the parasitic relationship.
Yep, and you know what? That's pretty much like those kind of that kind of storytelling, if anything, because I know it's really hard to get into the Bakemonogatari series just because the whole story is not released in chronological order.
And there's so many of them that I know it's like looking at something like One Piece and being like, I can't do all that.
But like Giguk mentioned, like with Boogie Pop and everything, the beauty to the whole story is just you being able to piece all this information together and deciding how these events happened in the first place. So like if anything, it gives the audience a little bit more like engagement with the story as well. Because again, this is like one of the best things about storytelling as well. Is like you can just go on like one giant rant and tell the whole story complete as it is, or you could make it more interesting and present like different stories and let the audience like piece together like, okay, what happened before then? Oh, so this explains that, and you kind of having that satisfaction is like, oh, now I understand what's going on.
Yeah, like with it is amazing how Kanbaru Devil came out, which is chronologically the final chapter of the Monogatari series, and yet we still had like another 2 seasons, meaning we still had like another 5 story arcs come out after that. And like literally he really is throwing in like mid-conflict in places that it is the beginning of the show or the beginning near the ending of the show. Like the Kizumonogatari movies didn't start coming out until 2016. And by that point, Orori Monogatari had just barely came out.
Yep, and I remember like that was the same year we were reviewing Owari when it was like coming out, and we were saying, okay, this is gonna be a 2-part series just because there's so much that we have to go through it.
Yeah.
And by the time we finish the first part, Owari will only be finished, so we'll have even more to talk about for the second part.
Yeah, and then even then, a few months later, we had Orori season 2, which was like basically. At the time, Shaft is like, this is the final season we're doing, which tied up everything, like, Edadagi dies, becomes a human, they have a fully powered kiss shot so they can use it to fight Ogi, and, now there's another new season out there, which we still have yet to watch.
which is now supposed to be the final season.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
I think what happened is Shaft is so happy with what those series have done for them money-wise that they'll probably do all of the books.
No, and for me it's like, it's one of those things where like I probably wouldn't mind as well.
If it kept going?
If it kept going, if anything. For me, my personal opinion, this is probably one of the series right now where like, if anything, I don't care if it like ends up turning into like like a really big like a run-in sentence. Not big enough, not as like episode heavy as like One Piece, because then at that point it's like, holy shit, there's too much going on. I've already forgot what happened 200 episodes ago.
Like 800 episodes of Monogatari. No, we will never get anyone to watch this show,
dude. If you're able to watch 800 episodes of Monogatari series, I'd be like, damn, it's like, I don't know how to explain this to you, man, but congratulations, you're officially Japanese, native Japanese.
You're native Japanese, man, because I have a feeling by the 600th episode of Monogatari, they just start teaching you Japanese for the jokes.
Yeah, just to get used to like the kanji specific jokes and everything, and I would not doubt it. Because this series really heavily relies on some of them, not only on just its actions and everything, but also just the jokes that they say that are like native specific. And if it weren't for like the translators like throwing that note out and everything, it's like, oh, like this is like a language specific joke, or like this is where it's supposed to translate roughly to. Most of those jokes were just flown over my head, and they just directly translated it without saying anything else.
Yeah, and Monogatari has always explained a joke like when oh my god, no, hold up. What's the main girl's name?
Which one?
The main girl, Edadaki's girlfriend.
Oh, Senju
Gahara. What was the other? Because I keep thinking of the other name. Hitagi. Okay, so it is Senju Gahara.
Senju Gahara Hitagi.
Yeah. So Senju Gahara breaks the fourth wall and it's like, yes, I have a very talented voice actress, and they even bring up a little list of everything she's done.
A resume, pretty much.
Yeah.
A short resume.
Yeah, a really short resume and like a random photo of the Eiffel Tower, which I'm guessing that's an in-joke to the Japanese. But yeah, they'll go as far to explain jokes so you can kind of get it. And again, this is, the movie doesn't shy away from that. They also do things that might alienate other people. In this one, this is a very good example of what this show stands for, because this is basically episode 0. This could be the first thing they watch, and then you start making them watch Bakemonogatari and upward.
Yep. And cool thing about the Monogatari series, you can watch it in whatever order you want. Like, you can watch it in the order of what seasons were released in, or you can watch it in the actual chronological order of events that it happened as well.
Just imagine all the windows you have to open up though.
Holy shit, man, dude! If you're able to watch this whole series chronologically correct, I applaud you, man. If you're able to actually figure out which season's supposed to start when.
Yeah. Though the good thing about the Monogatari seasons is the one season is always in chronological order. Mm-hmm. You'll never have a season start where one arc will happen after another one ends, and chronologically that arc was supposed to happen before it. Mm-hmm. Like Orori Monogatari, everything that happens in that anime is streamlined. It affects the next arc after the other, and that's why it's easy to kind of watch the show that way. But yeah, if you want to flip the seasons around and watch it in direct chronological order, it's there.
Yep.
Shaft is saying that they're on the last season, which, no, if Nisho Isin says he's about to end the series, I have a feeling we have 1 or 2 more seasons left.
Probably, because again, This is a series that like if you started if you started already like with since Bakemonogatari or like if you've even picked up the books or anything like that as well, it's a really interesting story.
Yeah.
And the thing that Bakemonogatari or does just in general with each of the stories, like it always brings something like interesting in the story. Like there's always some peculiar case that's like really what do I want to say? That's really special for every season. I guess I want to say like there's always a case that always makes it like, oh wow, it's like wow, so this is like something that like I haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, okay, maybe it's just not aberrations, or maybe it's a disease, or like something happening outside of the norm, or something that even the experts don't know what's going on.
Yeah, or someone selling curses to other children that end up affecting a child. Like, wasn't the snake that Nadeko got cursed with, wasn't that because of Kaiki?
Partially, because Kaiki was the one who gave the fake curse, not knowing what it did, and the children used it to curse Nadeko. The bullies, pretty much, the one who bullied Nadeko.
Yeah, actually, it was a bully. It was a bully, and then a boy she rejected too.
A boy she rejected.
There were like two on her.
And then it only got worse when and it got worse because Nadeko decided to kill those snakes in the shrine.
Yeah.
That's what made it worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He gave them fake curses, but then she accidentally ended up bringing a real one on her.
Yeah.
There we go.
Because she killed those snakes in the shrine.
Yeah, hoping that it was going to get rid of the fake curse that she had. Right. But yeah, so heading back to the movie, we're almost done here. But yeah, we do have a scene where while they're explaining all of this, how the deal's gonna go, Kishot's not happy. He is horrified at the idea that Edanagi is actually considering this.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, he does. We skip on to a few months later. The new term has started. Edadagi's talking to Hanakawa and explaining everything to her. Like, I can still go out in sunlight. I have a little bit of vampiric powers here and there, but nothing compared to what I had back on a break. And yeah, you know what? I have to go somewhere, so I will talk to you later. And he goes to the abandoned, the abandoned cram school, meets Oshino, and sees Shinobu there in the state we see her in the beginning of the series, and that's sitting down silently as refusing to talk to him, just being the shallow husk of what she used to be. And she starts drinking his blood, and he says something that I didn't even know was an option in the show, because he never said anything like that in the show. But while she's drinking his blood, he just says, anytime, if you want, you can kill me right now, and I will not do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't, and at that time you realize that from the entirety of Bakemonogatari and Nisamonogatari, there has always been this overlining shadow that Edadagi was giving her the chance to kill him and was waiting for that to happen. And Kizumonogatari just made that entire series way darker than it was.
Yep. Just as there was this underlying pressure that, okay, this could happen at any choice, but Kishot knows very well that if she does that, she'll just be back at square one again.
Yeah. So, yeah, it is. But it also brings in the question, why not kill him and become a full vampire again?
Because remember, she doesn't want that anymore.
Exactly.
She doesn't want it. She doesn't want to be a vampire anymore.
Yeah.
That's why, like, she knows if she kills him, she's gonna have that same regret that when she couldn't save the first guy that she turned into her first vampire.
Yeah. So and
then we'll just get a repeat of Bakemonogatari season 2.
Yeah, and again, it is just really dark. It's one of the reasons why I loved this series so much, and why this series and me have so much in common to this series and me, which I am pointing at a Ninja Turtle toy. Do you remember for the longest time, Coco kept having us talking about the 2012 Ninja Turtle show and how awesome it was. And as a Ninja Turtle fan, I saw like the first few episodes and thought, this is made for kids, it's kind of dumb and maybe even a little insulting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to watch it. After getting past those past couple of episodes, like this was literally last year, I'm like, holy shit, this is the best Ninja Turtle interpretation ever. Like, the best incarnation of the Turtles is this 2012 show. And that's how it was with Monogatari. I saw the first 2 episodes, and yeah, I thought they were interesting, but watching them again, I'm like, this is kind of pretentious, and I'm not really digging a lot of the talking. But once we got to Kanbaru Monkey, it was just flat out like, oh, I see what the show is doing, and it gave me this overlining respect for the show. And that is why I, to this day, will defend the show as hard as I do, because I'm like, look, whatever negative things you're saying about it right now, and if I know what kind of person you are, of course I'm going to think you're lying, unless I know that person's not into stuff like that. But if I know a person who has the same taste I do, they are lying. They need to give the show a proper go, because this really is one of the best anime that sadly not a people like to jump on.
Yeah, and again, it's understandable why, because again, it's one of those shows where like this, again, with the dialogue heaviness and everything, some of the jokes that they make, or even just some of the scenes, like you just feel like, oh, it's pretentious, like it's trying to be a masterpiece or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like you think about that initially, but then once you start watching like the development later on, like get over like a lot of the heaviness, because we even discussed this when we talked about Bakemonogatari. This is one of those series where it's like you can start it off. And it's not one of the most like if I want to say new anime fan friendly type of shows.
Yeah. Just
because like if you're new into like into the whole anime thing, like you've already watched like anime and you're like, wow, I really want to get interested to it. Bakemonogatari is not a good place to start, just because it involves too many things that I'm already like, you know, too many things about too many other like different cultural references, other things that at that point you're just not ready to like understand yet. Because you don't know about those terms yet.
Yeah.
You haven't been exposed enough for it to like completely understand what Bakemonogatari is trying to do.
Yeah, and it is flat out, Bakemonogatari is one of those shows that if you have a love for heavy dialogue and smartly written stuff, then go ahead and jump into it after you have already come into the anime world. Or Bakemonogatari is also there if you're just tired of action, adventure, dark fantasy stuff, because this really is something different. I mean, it's a dark fantasy, but it's different. It's not action-oriented. It's very different from what you're used to.
It's classic literature.
Yes. And also, for anyone who is on our page and is trying to get friends to watch it, do try to avoid making it sound like a harem, because I know it is technically a harem.
Oh, but it builds itself up to it, but holy Christ, there's more to it than just that.
Yeah, and it doesn't, because as soon as people hear the word harem, they zone out. Like I accidentally made it sound like a harem to someone. Was it that cosplay deviant? I don't remember. I don't think it was her. But I was talking about it, and this person was like, "Oh, I'm not big into harem," and I'm like, "No. I may have made it sound like a harem, but it's not. Trust me. He focuses on one girl the whole time, and the other girls are there to kind of help him with whatever situation he's in, or they're kind of there to bring in the comedy. It is not a harem. You're not walking into Nisekoi or anything like that.
I know, man.
Though I love Nisekoi.
Dude, yeah, Nisekoi is just like, for me, Nisekoi is a guilty pleasure.
Yeah. But what were you saying?
But yeah, and like how you mentioned, was like, again, like watching the shows, like it comes off with like, okay, it feels like a harem, but when you look at the, once you see like their interactions and everything, like I know Araragi's like kind of like, you know, there's this perverted side to him and everything.
Yeah.
But he legit stays loyal to Senju Gahara.
Oh yeah.
And then you get to like, despite all the things that's going in, the goofiness and everything, you get a feel for his personality, and you realize like, wow, well, aside from like the pervertedness and everything, he's actually a pretty chill guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a legitimately good guy, but again, he's kind of a good guy to a fault, because let's put it this way, he wanted a scenario where no one died, to the point where he just
screwed everyone over.
Yeah, he screwed everyone over and took away the one thing this person was asking for. But, you know, as it goes on, maybe it was because Araragi knew she never wanted that. Maybe deep down, that's what she wanted now, but deep down somewhere, Araragi probably saw she doesn't want that, So I'm not going to give it to her.
Maybe try to change your mind.
Yeah, and as you know, that's true. She didn't want to die, but she also didn't want Araragi to die.
And God, I forgot how gullible Araragi could be, because I was remembering that scene when Adeko invited him to play Twister with him.
Yeah.
And she was like literally positioning him where it looked like they were about to fight.
Yeah, like he did this because he's like, oh, she wants to play the King's game. I can't play the King's game with my little sister. And she's like, okay, let's play Twister. He's like, okay, that seems okay. And he's like, yeah, you guys are about to fuck right now.
And it would have been somebody like, who was it that knocked on the Deko's door?
I think it was the mom.
I think so too. And like, she would have gotten away with it too, because like, I don't know, again, he's a pervert, but he's still gullible for all these tricks.
Yeah.
So he's oh God, he's the worst kind of pervert. He's the innocent pervert.
Yeah. Yeah, what is it? He's like the girl in Maids and Succubus.
Oh, yeah.
So he's just a pervert. and again, like let's not forget that by the end of the series, he has flat out admitted that he wants to fuck his sisters too. Like, my little sisters are the only thing that gets me going now. I'm like, oh God, Araragi, please stop.
Oh, when that path of self-discovery, when he thought like when he thought like Karen was on par to, or even like better, greater than Hamikawa.
Yeah. Oh God. So anyway, that was Monogatari season. That was Kizumonogatari Part 3.
The final installment of the trilogy movies.
Yeah.
And here's what you made me think of when you told me about the Gyo arm.
December 1st at 12:01. It is time. Wait.
This is after November.
Oh!
When I saw that shit, I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah. I had my arm back. Time to bring it up. You know what's funny? I remember there's this YouTube cosplayer. Not YouTube, sorry. This Instagram cosplayer I really like. Named Sweet Lemon Cat. I think I've showed you. Yeah, I showed you a few of her photos before.
I don't know. I don't remember.
No, I showed you a photo and you're like, Danny, are you a chap? It was a Hinata photo of her. But god damn it, she's always posting things, and now I actually have to look at her stuff. No, I have to go into her account. But she does like a lot of really lewdy, little. What happened? It like kicks me out.
Content blocked.
Content blocked. No, where is it? Where is it? Here it is. But she does like a lot of very like lewdy cosplay stuff. I don't know if she's supposed to be there.
I don't know either. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, but you have like 02 here. But she does like a lot of very moody cosplay stuff, and one of the things someone asked her on November, because she was doing the Ask Me Anything, someone asked her like, do you enjoy making No Nut November tough for guys? And all she did was put that Lenny face, so it was like a
Oh, that's funny. The Lenny face.
Yeah, like a really intense face. Like, she didn't say yes or no, she's just like
the Lenny face.
She even came out and said, it made me laugh, she's like, I get happy when I meet my fans, but then I realize, oh wait, if you're a fan of me, you're probably a pervert. Yeah, so that was our show. We should go in and talk about what we liked about it. And as per usual, I'm gonna make this a thing. If we do not have a proper closing song.
Ooh, I got one.
What?
Wait, what were you gonna play? Go for it. I'm curious.
Gonna play the Chica song.
Oh.
If we do not have a proper open closing song, that's gonna automatically be our closing song.
Oh wow, you've been taken over by that song.
It's so cute.
I was just gonna be playing one of the OSTs from Bakemonogatari.
Oh, go ahead. Oh god, the most chaotic one.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm surprised you didn't play Kaiki.
No, we already did that for the first video.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, I can't use that anymore.
So, yeah, Kizumonogatari is arguably one of the best animated films I've seen. Well, best animated film that's actually based off like an anime fan series. It's beautifully animated, beautifully voice acted. The writing is great. This is arguably one of his best stories, I think, and chronologically, I think this is the third book he wrote. Mm-hmm. And I love that. It reminds me of the Spider-Man pizza music. Oh god, that music. So it's
A lower to make you focus.
like okay, but it's fine, keep it. But again, it like we said, there's an alternate timeline where Nishio Isin wanted this to be the only book. So you have this story of a very kind-hearted boy finally giving death to a vampire who has been wanting to die for the last 200 years, kind of ending it on this very beautiful moment. But at the same time, if it didn't end that way, then you get this magnificent prequel series that leads you into a pretty damn good anime and book series.
Yep.
I love this. That ending still to this day, even though it's only been on 2 weeks since I've seen it, still sends chills down my bones. And I'm not gonna say who, but there is a particular anime YouTuber who has stated that the first movie was the only good one, was the best one in this trilogy. I'm sorry, I have to say this was the best one in the trilogy out of the three. But yeah, that's what I have to say, because us going into all that detail about Monogatari is basically what I would have said about the movie. So what about you?
So for me, I will be using a different theme.
Why did I get the fountain one? Why did you get the calm one? That's actually easier to talk over.
Because I like seeing you struggle.
God damn it. See, then I should just pick one and it'll just be the Chica song, but like louder, that you have to compete with it.
That's why you get to, that's why for me, I'm going to be doing this for you. And once when I torture you, you can like get me back the next week.
Okay, fine. I'm doing it next week. I'll find something.
Do your worst, because next week we are doing Classroom Crisis.
I'll just pick something really inappropriate to its tone.
Good luck, man. I'm just gonna say good luck. And once you finish watching that whole series, good luck trying to pick something inappropriate.
Yeah, I gotta find it. I gotta start it this week.
But yeah, for me, just like watching the whole Kizumonogatari series, and this third movie for me, I really like this movie a lot. It's hard for me to rank it, but in terms of like which ones I like the best, 3 and 1 are kind of tied for me, if anything. 3 and 1 if anything, and 2 naturally comes second, because again, that's like where all the action comes in, and I'm like, oh, great, now we get to see what things are going to be going.
Yeah, you know, when I really think about it, maybe saying that 1, 2, or 3 in this movie is kind of invalid, because you are technically just seeing the same story.
Yep.
Yeah, at a continued rate. So yeah, I think you're right. Ranking it is kind of hard, because when you really
if anything, just think about it like, what was your favorite part of this story?
Yeah, and so my favorite part were pretty much that entire near ending scene was beautiful. But yeah, you're right. Why rank it as like one individual trilogy when you could just be like, this is just one spectacular movie?
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, keep going.
And then for me, Kizumonogatari Part 3, again, as a Bakemonogatari fan, that took me, as a Bakemonogatari fan in the making, because holy shit, man, I had to like dig back to like all the series I watched back from the show and everything. I was thinking, man, this explains so much about everything that happened in the series. It's like, it provided, like I said in the beginning, like earlier in the video, like this provided like one of the crucial pieces of the puzzle. And it made me feel so satisfied knowing, okay, so this explains that, and this explains why there even exists a Bakemonogatari series in the first place.
And explained one of the what I initially thought was a really weird art choice, and that was, why the fuck is there a tree in the middle of a cram school?
Right.
They explained that.
Right, and it just ties everything together, and it just feels like, again, it's just that sense of satisfaction. It's like, damn, this just makes me feel wholly complete again.
Yeah.
You get that same feeling as Kishak when she becomes complete and gets all her limbs and heart back.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't care if this is one of the most depressing endings of any of the Monogatari series. I'm just so happy I got it.
I know. And then like for me, Part 3, one of the goriest parts of the whole story that I've seen. And
we didn't even talk about how like you literally see one of them at one point blow up into paste.
Yep. Hey, whatever we didn't talk about too, you guys get to see it. As a surprise.
Yeah, literally. Let's put it this way: that fight scene was over 10 minutes long. It was a very long fight.
It was.
So keep going, sir.
And pretty much, no, you're good. I just like tried to remember what was I saying again.
Oh, cool.
And then again, for me, part 3, goriest part of the game as well, but also one of the more satisfying parts of this story as well. And just picking up with everything, it's like okay, especially the ending when you see like just how Shinobu's like and everything's like okay, and here's where everything starts again, going back to point 1, which was Bakemonogatari season 1, and. Watching this series progress and everything, just seeing how the characters developed, making more sense as to like what was going on without the whole series and like why certain things happened.
Mm-hmm.
Kizumonogatari in general for me, I felt that it was a really important part of the story, and again, one of the best movies I've seen this fall. Didn't really feel like I was sitting there like for an hour watching a movie. Just felt like I was watching like a 30-minute episode or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dang, this went by really fast. Like Danny wasn't lying when he said like this just flies by.
Yeah, and it clocks in at about 81 minutes.
So it's not that bad to watch of anything. Again, not something I'd recommend you watch with the family, but definitely something you want to share with your best friend or somebody who you know is like into stuff similar to you like that as well.
Yeah, actually what's funny is I was, my dad likes watching Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yeah?
Yeah, I hate that show.
What is it about?
Oh, it's about a doctor who specializes specifically in growths. Like giant pimples are like growths in people's body, and they show you her popping them. Like you'll have people that will have like a giant growth on their arm, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this is just like pus buildup. Let me show you me popping it." It's on TLC, that's right.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's a really good show. But there was one where a guy had like a lump on his arm, and it kept reminding me of a JoJo villain in part 3, the Empress. But I don't think it got to part 3, right?
No, I'm still in the 1920s JoJo.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there is like there's a villain that's like a growth that's like a face, and I was telling my mom about that, and she's like, I thought anime was just like kiddie stuff, and I'm like, no, are you kidding? No, the anime sometimes will be on the level of shows me and Dad watch, and then I told her the plot for Dororo, and she did it like Dororo, and hearing me talk about how basically a guy sold his baby to demons and how the baby's nothing but a meat sack. So again, I kind of want to show this to my mom just to be like, oh, I'm sorry, what was that about kid stuff?
Dude, and a bunch of other things as well. And for us, I can understand why they would think initially for kids stuff, because like, again, this goes back to like my first exposure to anime. Didn't think it was anime, just thought it was a Western cartoon like Pokemon and all those things.
Yep.
And my parents knew like I grew up watching that, so I was like, oh, so that's pretty much what anime is. It's a child's category and everything. And I myself thought about it as well until I started exploring all the other stuff about anime as well.
Yeah.
So for me, if anything, it's just like that first exposure of anything, kind of like that, kind of like a stereotype of anything. Like once you experience something, and like you kind of like use that one experience only to like generalize throughout the whole genre and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, tying all of this back to like Kizumonogatari, Bakemonogatari, and everything as well. This is one of these shows where it just shows you just how diverse the anime series can be when it comes to telling the stories, and just kind of like what approach not only like the authors but also the directors and then like animators even take when it comes to portraying that story.
Yeah. So, anything else?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and there's also Bakemonogatari hentai if you guys want to watch that.
Like an actual one they made?
I don't know if it's Studio Shaft that made it, but there's one with the actual characters of Bakemonogatari.
Is that recent?
I don't know. I just remember seeing it in passing.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's a decently animated.
Yeah, the one that looks it's like, damn, it looks like it could be, but it's got that hentai quality to it.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's out there. But there's only Senjigahara and Hanakawa.
Yep.
But it's Hanakawa Black, so you guys get your little lewdness in there.
Get your fetishes out of the way.
I'm just glad they didn't touch my Kangaroo. I know manga-wise she's there. There is a Futanari with Kangaroo.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
See, this is why I don't read hentai.
Yeah, this is why I tend to stay away from it too. Sometimes I'll read the manga for the lulz, but remember when we had that entire episode? I had to definitely watch a bunch just so I could have recommendations.
I know. And dude, oh my god, for me, one of the surprising things, like when it comes to like when I just pick up a series that I want to start, especially when it came to the kizumonogatari series. Again, watched it the first time, didn't like it just because it was too dialogue heavy. But then when it came back to revisit it, came back with more knowledge and everything, I ended up getting like really sucked into the story, and I was like, wow, it's really drawing me into it as well.
Yeah.
So overall, my opinion of Kizumonogatari, part 3, loved it. Definitely one of my favorite parts of this story, and I cannot begin to recommend people to watch this trilogy.
Yeah, and the thing is too is if you're into this could just be the only one is definitely a good starting point because there is action in this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a lot of the action in the show where a fight's about to break up, but then it quickly ends and it becomes nothing but dialogue heavy conclusions. This will give you what you want, and then it will ease you in perfectly into the show that you'll just be used to all the dialogue heavy stuff. But yeah, again, you're absolutely right. Cannot begin to describe this show. So again, next week will be Valentine's Day. Is it
the day after Valentine's?
The day after.
And I'm gonna be joining a food eating contest to represent my department at the school.
Oh,
so wish me luck.
Wait, so when is Valentine's Day? Wednesday?
14th, Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
Wait, so does that mean Happy Death Day and... Yeah, does that mean Happy Death Day and Alita are coming out on Thursdays? That's weird.
Because I remember Happy Death Day was going to be coming the day before Valentine's. It was supposed to come the day before Valentine's Day, but then they made it Valentine's Day, I think.
Oh, let me see. Happy Death Day
to you.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. Because I kept putting 2. February 13th.
Oh, never mind.
Is that a Friday?
That's a Wednesday.
Wednesday? Really? No.
February 13th is a Wednesday.
Monday's the 11th. That is so weird. Okay, well, that means Alita's coming out on Thursday. That is weird. But anyway, what is the anime? Because I also have an announcement.
Oh yeah, Classroom Crisis.
Okay, so we'll be doing Classroom Crisis, but you guys might also get a little mini review of my thoughts on Alita Battle Angel, because I got invited to go see a fan screening on the 11th.
Ooh!
So literally on Monday I'll be going to that. Too bad it was an email invite, like it was a mass email invite to AMC members and not like, hey, do you want to go see the premiere that happened last week?
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, so far the movie is mediocre reviews, but they are definitely saying it's better than most. So we'll be getting a teeny little review of that, and maybe that will one day span out into a manga review, even though I don't know how long the manga is. I think it's long.
I think so too, because I remember sitting at one time in my school library, but again, the school libraries never have the whole series.
Yeah.
So when I went to the library, I think there's only like four of them so far.
Oh, okay. And were those the really big ones though?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the Naruto one, pretty much. I think Naruto-sized ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because now they have like gigantic hardcover ones.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, the only problem is that when you try to type it in, you get oh, well, it's only 5 years old. Let's see. Sorry, people. Sorry, 9 volumes. So it should end pretty soon. But yeah, anyway, you'll be getting that. That should be interesting. But I really am interested in this Classroom Crisis anime. I've been too busy trying to catch up to everything that came out this season that I haven't gotten to it yet. But I will today, since I have nothing to do when I get it.
Just letting you know, this series has like taken over my life already.
Oh.
I'm like on episode 8 right now, and I'm like, fuck, I want to continue watching, but I got work tomorrow.
Wait, how long is it?
12 episodes, I think.
Oh, cool. Oh, so that's like I just want to keep going, but I have to stop it. You know what's not taking over my life anymore? Kingdom Hearts. I beat it.
Oh,
it was
nice.
Great. Anyway, guys, I'm Danny. Is that from the show?
What the hell?
Josh!
No, just a random video clip, and I'm the Squatcha.
What the fuck?